when I saw when she asked
Hits 1055. That was Janet Jackson with Together Again. Good morning. Welcome to the morning show. Hope everyone is having a terrific Thursday morning. Living United with the United Way President Carla Young is brought to us by Allison's Custom Jewelry, but I have Amy West in with us this morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Tracy?
I am doing good. You brought the sunshine.
Well, of course I did. I know. So happy to see that today. And I checked tomorrow's weather, and I think it's going to be sunny, too. So
yes,
we appreciate that more this time of year, that's for sure.
That's true.
Well, hey, I just wanted to talk a little bit about, before I introduce our guest here, I just want to, of course, thank everybody who showed up and volunteered for our Christmas dinner that happened last Saturday. It was an incredible event. It was Carla's first time, so she just kind of got thrown into that, but she did a wonderful job. And I can't help but thank all the wonderful volunteers that helped out with that. There's volunteers that come every year that just show up, and it's amazing. We also have Alvitra Orthodontics that always sets up the Christmas or the Santa corner, and they had volunteers out there this year, and it looked incredible, and they provide some gifts for Santa to give away. I can't help but thank all the other wonderful volunteers that come out. We have the Ashers, Meryl and Ann, who always provide the little candies for all the children, and of course Michael from the Spot is incredible. He always does an amazing job with a traditional Thanksgiving meal, and then of course the Masons do the wonderful mashed potatoes, and then we could not make this happen without Lee Fernley, who coordinates everything on the day of and makes it all go off without a hitch. And of course all the wonderful volunteers, the commissioners, the mayor, and all the wonderful people that come out and help serve. And then, of course, all our delivery drivers that go out and deliver to the homebound as well that day. We did over 300 meals for that as well. So it was fun. It was a great turnout, and we did over 1,000 meals, and it was just a good day. So also, I cannot help but mention that we have kindergarten tutoring slots open too. If you're interested, you can call the office, 937-492-2101. And my extension is 1003, and they will be on break after this week, but we will start again in January. So always kindergarten tutoring slots open, and that's at Longfellow and Emerson in the morning time slot between like 9 and 10 a.m. So today we have one of our community initiatives that we're going to talk about today, the Impact Program. And we have Amy Simmendinger here to tell us a little bit about what the Impact Program is and what all happens with that. Welcome, Amy.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good. I'm glad you're here because I want to learn more about what we talked about off air. So I'm super glad you're here. Go ahead.
So the Impact Program is just a really cool, I think, example of collaboration. It takes a lot of different entities sometimes to make things happen, and the Shelby County United Way is such an integral partner with the Impact Program. The reason it was started, and it's been probably, going on 12 years now, we saw a real need to reach out to students in our community who were struggling, whether that was with some emotional stuff, struggling in school, maybe some things that were going on in the home and with their family, and wrap services around those kids and their families to just help prevent them from possibly, running into issues with getting involved with the juvenile justice system, not wanting to go to school, failing classes, getting in trouble with discipline at school. And this program took a lot of different entities to come together to figure out how can we support kids and our families in our community. Because if you're going to invest in something, I think investing in kids and in your community is a great thing to do. So the families are referred to me either through schools, through community partner agencies. Families can call me on their own. And the really cool thing is because of the United Way, it's free to families. We partner with about 5 different agencies in the community that can provide things such as individual counseling, family counseling, case management, in-home support, at-school support, and even, income and insurance is not a factor. Students can receive 12 free visits, and then the thing that's dear to my heart about this is very much a family program. Parenting is hard, even under the best of circumstances, and when your kid is struggling, it can be very scary and very overwhelming. And who do I call, and what do I ask, and what do I say, and how do I get my child help in a timely manner? So the really awesome thing about this program is that we also cover visits for families and for the guardians, parents, whoever might be caring caring for this child, to help them figure out how to help their child. And if they're also struggling with some things on their own, it's really hard to take care of your kid when you're struggling yourself. So the United Way allows us to not only fund services for a child, but also the adult in their life that's caring for them. And I think, healthy families and healthy kids is so important for our community. And I love that we can provide that service to families because of the United Way. They're not going to have to worry about how in the world do I pay for it. Every time I come out here, I talk about, we take our kids for their eye screenings and their hearing tests and their well checks and all of those things. And we know what to do when our kid has strep throat or, breaks a bone or something. But when you start talking about mental health and behavioral issues and anxiety, it can be so scary, not only for the child, but for the person caring for them. So because of the Impact Program, we're able to provide that to families in our community at no cost. And it's just a really great resource when you're struggling and you're scared and you don't know who to call or what to do to help your child. I'm grateful that I have the opportunity because of all of our community partners and because of the United Way to help families get where they need to be. If families want to reach out to me on their own, they can always call me at my office. Disclaimer, I'm never there. I'm always out in schools or doing things. So you can leave me a message, and that's at 498-1354 extension 7020. Or you can talk to your school guidance counselor, teacher, principal. They're all familiar with the program, and they can reach out to me as well. And I would love to help families get connected.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Amy. I'm sure Tracy may have a few questions. Do you want to take a break and come back?
Yes,
do you want to do that now?
we will.
Okay.
We'll play a song really quick. We'll play a song. I do have a question. Yeah, coming up next, The Sign by Ace of Base. It's Hits 105.5. Hits 105.5. That was Ace of Base with The Sign. Good morning. Welcome to the morning show. Hope everybody is having a terrific Thursday morning. We've got Living United with United Way President Carly Young, but I have Amy West with me, and I have Amy Simlinger. Did I say your name wrong? How do you say it?
You are not for Simendinger.
Simendinger. I'm going to remember that. All right, you're with the Impact Program, and we were talking earlier about the program, wonderful program, and I'm sure there's a lot of people here in Shelby County that had no idea that this help was available, and that's what I love about Living United every Thursday, because we get to learn about a United Way agency. And your agency, not only you help the kids, but you also touched on this, you help the parents too. And that's one thing when your kid is struggling. How do you, as a parent, you get frustrated. How can you talk to them to help them? How do you talk to the parents so they can help their child?
Well, first of all, I think you're right. I think until you have a need for something yourself and it touches your life, you're not always aware of what is going on in your community because it's just not been something you're aware of. And I think for a lot of parents, it's really hard. Either they're struggling themselves or it's like, this has never been an issue for me, so I don't know how to help my child. Or it makes parents very uncomfortable to say my kid is struggling or my kid, needs different things than I did. So I just really talk with parents about how can I advocate for them and how can I help them? Because if your child is struggling, you're either, they're refusing to go to school or you're getting calls from the school or they're failing their classes, and that's miserable as a parent. You want to see your kid succeed, and especially when they're really struggling with, anxiety or depression. And the other piece of this, and this is why United Way is so integral, these kind of services are not inexpensive, I'll put it that way, and that's just the reality of it. And I've sat with families who have I had a parent who just sat and cried and said, I know my child needs counseling and I know they need medication, but we have 3 other kids and we have to put food on the table and we have to be able to pay our rent and pay our bills, and how do we make it work for our entire family? So I can kind of direct them. One, I don't ever want families to kind of waste time calling different places when I can say, hey, this is where you really need to go based on what you're telling me. I think this is the great fit. And they don't have to worry about feeling like they're not going to be able to pay a bill or, we're going to get in trouble with an agency because we can't pay for it but we're not helping our child. So being able to advocate for parents and just sit with them. I'm big on, I don't sit across the table from parents, I sit next to them. Because I'm there to help them and help their kid. I do a lot of different things in Shelby County, but in this particular role, I sit with parents and I will do whatever I can to advocate for them and their kids, and just let them know it's going to be okay. It's okay to be scared, and it's okay to not know the answers, but that's what this program is for, because the United Way, to help them figure those things out.
Yeah, and I love that you said that you sit next to them, because that's one thing as a parent, you're afraid you're going to get judged, and it has nothing to do with you. You're just helping your child.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
You feel
and
responsible.
There's no judgment. You are there to help, and I love how you make them feel comfortable and they're in a safe space. I love that. I love that. And now, again, if somebody's listening and they missed your number, can you provide that?
Sure, absolutely. So again, like I said, I'm rarely at a desk. I'm always out and about, but my voicemails go to my email, so I'll get it. My office number is 498-1354, and it's extension 7020. We have an automated system who also does not like the name Simendinger, so when you call in, don't try to find my name. Just push 7020. It will go right to my desk or my voicemail, and that way you don't have to try to work your way through a system that also doesn't know how to say Simendinger.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in this morning. That was Living United with United Way President Carly Young. We have Amy West this morning. And thank you so much. This is why I love Living United, because I can learn about these programs like everyone else for the first time.
Yes.
And it's why this program is so important.
I know. That's why I love it, too. I think it's so incredible to learn what goes on in this community. And, you just don't realize what's happening behind the scenes. And this Impact program is just one of the many, many things that incredible human services that are offered in this community.
Yes, it is. And I'm glad you had a good turnout for the community dinner. That's always a great time. You guys do a wonderful job. All right, thank you so much. And that was brought to us by Allison's Custom Jewelry. Coming up next, we got a short break and your local weather. It's Hits 105.5.